Hello lovely people, and welcome back to my channel. If you're just coming for the first time, I say thank you, and for those that have been here all this while and supporting me, may God continue to draft on my paper. So I'm going to draft on my paper, then I'll transfer this to my visible interfacing, then to my fabric. So the first thing you want to do is to have your margin. It's very, very important to have your margin. So I'm just going to take a margin like this. If you can see that. I just draw a line for my margin. So on this line now, I'm going to start. First of all, we are creating another margin again here. So it doesn't have to be that long. If you feel that the edge of your fabric or the edge of your paper is equal, you don't need to create any margin. Just use the edge of the paper and the edge of the other point as your beginning. Okay, so I want this point to be my center front. I want this point to be my center front, and I want the area I will mark later around this point to be my center back. Right? So this is what I'm going to do. I'll measure my center front. From my center front, I'll measure to the shoulder line. Okay? You can decide to place your tape, your measuring tape, coming from the shoulder line to your center front, or from your center front to the shoulder line, whichever way. But I want you guys to see what I'm measuring, so I just turn around and do my measurement. Here I have 5 inches. I have 5 inches. 5 inches. I'm going to take down that point. Okay, 5 inches. Alright, then I'm going to take note of the other part. That's the part that leads to the center back. So I have 3 and a half. I have 3 and a half. That's a total of 8 and a half. 3 and a half here. So that means that this point is my center back. So it's total of 8 and a half. 8 and a half inches. I just want to have a straight line. So this is the space I'm working with. Okay, these are our center. These are center points, our shoulder line. So after getting your center front and your center back, so on my center front line, I'm going to come up by 3/4 of an inch. You can come up by 1 inch or so, but let it not exceed 1 inch, between 0.5 to 1 inch. Then with my curve, I'm going to create a connection between this 3/4 of an inch to the shoulder line. Okay. Okay. So when you're done with this will become your new margin. You're no more counting this initial one. Okay. This becomes your new margin. Now, after this, you're going to determine how wide, that's the length, how long do you want your collar to be. Now, looking at the thumbnail, you can see that this is up to 1/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches. So it depends on what you want. You can go as much as 2 inches. All right. So we're going to go 1.5. So this is what you're going to do. I'll measure from my center back. Okay. From my center back, I'll start my marking. 1.5. So remember, this becomes my new margin. 1.5. 1.5. 1.5. Now remember, we are having something like a curve around this point. So if you check your neck, look at your neck right now, you find out that the base of your neck is wider than the upper part of your neck that connects to your jaw. Okay, therefore we're going to try to reduce the length, so we're going to try to reduce the width, that's the circumference of the upper part of our collar, so that it can fit a little bit to the upper part of our neck circumference. So by doing so, at this point, all right, you're going to come in by between 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch. Okay, depends on how fitting you want the upper part of your neckline to be. Okay, so I'll come in by 1/2 inch. I'm coming by 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to connect from this lower part to the upper part I mark in by 1/2 inch. Okay, so now with my curve, with the help of my curve, I'm going to reconnect my line here. Okay, I'm going to go one after the other. Okay, so we have succeeded in creating our Mandarin collar. So we came in here by 0.5 and we came up here by 3/4 of an inch, just to give us that fitting we require. Now remember, I talked about extending your collar at the center back to your extension. So if you want to include that to your collar, that means you have to measure all the way towards where the extension ends. Okay, so by doing so, for me right now, I will not be having 3.5 inches anymore. I'll be having 5.5 inches. That means I'll be ending around this point. Okay, then I'll do all my, every other thing remains the same. You just connect the line and that's it. So at this point, you are going to cut here on fold. Remember, our front is on fold, our center front is on fold. We're going to cut it on fold. Then here will be open. Now if, for example, is the front that is opened, that means you'll be cutting open the center front. That means center front won't be on fold that this time around, it will be cut open. So when you're done with this, all you have to do is cut. Let's cut. So after cutting, you're going to place on fold, remember. So let's assume that I am using this fabric for my dress. So I'll get it, then I'll get my fusible interfacing also. This is my, this is a paper stay. You can use a paper stay. You can also use a collar gun stay. So let me use this now. So what you're going to do is this. You're going to place this on fold. You place your paper stay on fold or your fusible interfacing. See how it is placed now. Okay, you can pin this down and cut. Okay, if you can hold it down too. When cutting on your fusible, you have to cut exactly the same amount, no allowances. So at the end of the day, you should have something like this. Have something like this. Okay, then you're going to place this on your fabric on fold, remember. Then this time around, you're going to cut with seam allowance. So you're going to leave 1/2 inch seam allowance all around, and you're going to cut 2 because the collar has a facing. Okay, you need to cut 2 of these. After cutting this, you fold your fabric again and cut. So I can decide to cut from here. After cutting, you leave 1/2 inch all around, you place again and cut another one for the facing. And that's how to draft out your mandarin collar. So you can decide to add a little styling. You can decide to curve the back, a little styling at the back like so. So it's not mandatory. You can decide to do so, you can decide to not do so. Okay, you can decide to have this kind of styling at the back to make it more beautiful. And so, and when you're done, you fuse your interfacing to your fabric, then you attach to your garment. And at this point, we have come to the end of this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. For those of you that are new, remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to get a notification once a video drops on this channel. Thank you for staying with me. See you on the next video. Bye bye.